What's up, guys? James from James' Reptiles, and today I'm going to be talking about how much you feed your leopard gecko, how often, and how to know if they're over or underweight. Now, of course, all this is going to be my opinion and how I look at my geckos, but just know I've been keeping leopard geckos for over 4 years. I've been breeding for 2 years, and I work professionally with them at my job for over a year and a half now. Now, with all that in mind, I am not the best expert whose advice you could follow. There's plenty of people who've been doing it way longer than me, but I do think I am reliable to an extent. So today I'm gonna so first I'm gonna show you a couple that are chunky, maybe a little overweight. I'll show you some that are pretty good weight, and then I'll show you some that are underweight, and I'll tell you how I feed them. Alright, so this gecko right here, actually let me get this better light. That's way better. Alright, so this gecko right here, his name is Big Boy. He's got a lot of extra skin. A nice thick regen. And underneath his arms here, let's see if you can see, you see that big bulge? That's a calcium pocket, a calcium deposit. It's where he stores his extra calcium. It shows that he's really healthy. And they're actually kind of big. I probably want it to go down a little bit. I'll probably offer him a little bit less calcium coming up. And he does have a lot of extra skin. When I first got him, he was extremely chunky and way overweight. He was just being fed way too much. And I'd probably feed this gecko along with the next gecko I'm about to show you about the same, but also about more than all the other ones. Just because these two nice big healthy geckos like to eat more. The other geckos, the reason they're skinny is because they won't eat quite as often. And whether that's what you offer or how often you offer it, it's just something to be aware of and to make sure your geckos are staying healthy. Alright, now this gecko also has a really nice fat tail. His name's Malloy. He's the one that's a little damaged. You can see he doesn't have the pockets under his arms, but he's nice and filled out really well. He's got a real thick neck like an adult male should. He's real good breeding size. And that's a nice, healthy, strong male. That's something you would want to strive for your geckos, whether you're breeding or even if you're keeping as a pet, you want that. Now, this gecko is a blizzard, and I don't actually weigh my geckos, I just go by looks. You can tell the tail isn't thin on this one, but the gecko's also not super big, and this is a female. Now, not all females get super big, but she is a little lacking, and that's okay. If it's just a pet, I'm not breeding this gecko. It's preferred that they are chunky, but at the end of the day, as long as the gecko is healthy and eating, there's not much you can really complain about. And I offer them a variety of things every once in a while. They got superworms the other day, and, well, not superworms, hornworms. And while that can be basically drugs for a gecko because they're so addictive, this gecko refused, so keep that in mind. And she really doesn't eat a whole lot besides mealworms. I guess when I offer her crickets, she goes for them, but I'd like to see her eat more. Now, this gecko right here is easily my skinniest, weakest gecko. This girl was found loose in my work, and she was super skinny. And before they even had a chance to put her away, I said, let me take it home. Got a real good deal on her. And she's Halloween Mask, which is my favorite morph. But she's just never put on any weight. Now, when I did feed superworms the other day, or I said superworms again, when I did feed hornworms the other day, she was the first one to want one, which made me really excited because she doesn't eat a whole lot or get too excited. But I'm not sure what's going on with her internally. She ate a whole superworm, and she doesn't look like if anything, she looks like she got skinnier. and I know she hasn't thrown it up because I keep an eye on her cage. But this is a gecko that's been really stumping me. I've had it for 8 months now, and it's just not getting big. It's just a weak gecko, and I'm gonna keep trying with it, obviously. But at the end of the day, I don't have the highest hopes for this animal. And I know a lot of people are saying take it to the vet, do this, do that. The vet's not really going to do anything for you. It might give you some formula to feed it. But if the gecko doesn't want to eat, the gecko's not going to eat. That's kind of how it is at the end of the day. You can force feed it and you can try, and that might help, but from my experience, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to do anything except stress the gecko out. And when the gecko is weak and thin like this, the last thing you want to do is stress it out with trying to force feed it. So I will show you guys a couple other of my animals and maybe talk about how much I feed these guys, like I said I would in the beginning. Alright, so with my leopard geckos and with my fat tail geckos, I offer them adult mealworms every Monday, and I always keep a little bit extra in case I want to add more. I always keep crickets and dubia on hand. I breed my own dubia. And I offer one of those a second time, like a Thursday or Friday, so they get fed twice a week, mealworms, and then also something else. And that kind of breaks it up. If they don't feel mealworms, they can wait a couple days and have something else. And I always keep extra mealworms, whichever tub full of geckos or specific gecko finishes their mealworms first. I usually offer them seconds in case they want it. Now, with that one Halloween mask, I'm getting to the point where I'll probably end up trying Rapashi or something like that, one of those to really get it interested in eating. That's not something I really want to do, it's a hassle, and the gecko might end up only wanting to eat that. But if that's what I gotta do to help that gecko, that's what I'm gonna end up trying. And oh, excuse me. And I really want to see her bounce back, so that's what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna go show you guys some really cool animals I got and some eggs I got in the incubator. Alright, so here in my closet, this is one of my really cooler animals I don't showcase a lot. This is a Tailless whip scorpion. They're actually really harmless. I used to have two of them. One of them was really friendly. Unfortunately, that one passed away. I only have this one left, so I don't take it out a lot because it is really aggressive and really sporadic with the way it moves. Getting it back in is going to be a real challenge. But these are awesome little guys. You keep them really humid. You can keep them room temperature. Feed them like a spider or scorpion. One cricket a week. And these guys are chilling. Now, I believe, yeah, he's missing a whip. This one's missing a whip. The other one was missing a leg. So I got a good price on them. But they're really interesting. They sit super flat on the inside of bark, on rocks and stuff. I keep a drainage layer actually in the enclosure with this, and 2 pieces of cork for it to climb up and down if it wants. Always chills in the same spot. They're pretty predictable. But this specific species is from Tasmania, and it's the bigger species. And they're just so interesting, those little claws. Some up close pictures are really cool. If you can get them on Instagram and look up Tasmanian Tailless whip scorpion, people take close up face pictures of them, and they're super awesome. It's super clear, and you see every detail. All right, I'm gonna put them back, and we'll move on. All right, so right here is my fish tank. It's a Fluval Flex 9-gallon. It's the bow front. I love it. It's got this thing, hides the water level pretty well. I got pretty bad algae growing on the front. I need to get one of those magnet things that scrapes it. But for right now, I got, I think, 6 or 7 rummy nose. One of those, I think that's a Siamese LBG eater. I had 3 Asian gold clams. I have 2 left. two of these little corridors, this cool plant I got grown in a couple places. That is a mosquito fish I caught in the river, and I just kind of grew up in here. And then if you could just barely see its head there, there's an autocinklus. And I really enjoy a fish tank. It kind of breaks up the monotony of all the reptiles. And it's just fun to watch, and I have it in the bathroom, so it's really fun to watch while I'm in the bathroom doing my business. But waiting for a couple of these fish. Obviously, I want them to live their lives and be long lived, but once a couple more die, I'm gonna probably rescape it, make it real clean, and put maybe like a pair of like a slightly bigger fish in here. Just kind of have them be like this is just kind of like a little show tank. I have a little school of rummy nose and other stuff going on, but maybe a little pair of pet fish, I guess is what you would call them. This is my lily white. He's getting a drink right now. Pretty bummed out. They just had over at Tiki's Geckos. I just spent $1,000 on that gecko, and they just had a sale. Anytime you spend $150 or more on a gecko, they give you one just like it for free. And I bought this gecko like a week and a half ago. Like if I would have known, I could end up with 2 lily whites for $1,000. I guess there's always next year. And then last but not least, we have some eggs. There I have the original big cup with all the random crested gecko eggs, and here's the little cup we set up in a video not too long ago, being real specific about who the parents are. And then these 5 little containers in here all have a clutch of eggs in them. They're all from my buddy Trent from Trent's Reptiles. He's got some bells and some bold stripes, and he doesn't have an incubator, so I'm letting him use mine. And it's real cute seeing the babies hatch all the time. But for now, that's all I got. My name is James from James's Reptiles. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or gmail.com. Have a good one.